I'm going to teach you something that I teach all my nursing students to help remember lab values and understanding extracellular and intracellular fluids when you're learning electrolyte imbalances. So the first thing you have to know is there's the extracellular space, which is outside the cells, and that is the plasma in your bloodstream and the interstitial fluid, which is the space in between where the cells are and the blood. So it's this empty space here where this is where a lot of edema occurs. That's all extracellular, which is outside the cells. Then you have intracellular, which is inside the cells. So you have cells that are not in the plasma and they are intracellular. Now, when I'm looking at the lab values, what helps me remember, especially your cations, which is your positives, and your anions, which are your negatives. So you have the smaller numbers, which is like, for example, your potassium and your magnesium and your phosphorus. They are main cations and anions that live mostly intracellular. So for example, potassium, if I draw your blood, I'm drawing it from your plasma bloodstream here. I better not have very high levels because majority of my potassium, 98%, lives in my cells, which is in your muscles, in your red blood cells, in your liver. So these are in the cells, not in the plasma. But if I check your sodium levels, it better be high because the majority of my sodium lives in the extracellular spaces. So my sodium levels will read higher because most of it lives here. So that's how I remember when I see high and low values, where it lives versus intercellular versus extracellular. So I hope that makes sense, and that's how I try to teach it to my students and help them remember. I break it down a little bit more with imbalances in my nursing notebook.